We're rolling. Ready?
I thought we already were. Thought that was all part of the
that's
the
like
preview.
the intro piece.
Yeah.
Right.
We just have Jared sing the theme song.
Starting your 20 minutes now.
Great.
Okay. All
Great.
right.
So next time there will be a Jared sung personal theme song.
Yeah, we'll
Really
work on an
excited for
intro at some point. We'll get an overview for
Love it.
people.
Oh, they're recording, but your 20 minutes of talking starts now.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, let's go.
Okay,
Haley.
great. Okay, so this is a little bit of part 2 of modularity, kind of going into the commercial side of things. So, yeah, get the party started with all things commercial. Is there anything specifically about the launch that you want to say before we get into the details of the builds? We now have this lovely photo up on the screen for you to reference should you choose.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh. Details, no. I mean, no, let's dive in. I mean, topic is modular in the form of commercial. And so you hit me with what you want and I will take it.
Yeah, so we talked about, modularity in the form of a camper van, and then I'd kind of asked about how that differs for commercial. So I think that's probably a good place to start, or just like the big main differences. This is the business hat. the big differences between like a camper van
We're getting serious
to a commercial unit. So kind of like a bare bones commercial unit, I guess. One with a lot of potential for kind of whatever you need it to be, and just like the main differences between those two baseline builds.
Okay. So as we kind of talked in the last episode about modularity, like how it kind of originated, we kicked this conversation to this episode so we get the full time. For background topic, commercial is the same footprint as our new move model. It really all is one. And so when we talk in terms of modularity within that build, we are, in essence, the move model is, the goal behind it is to bring everything our customers have wanted to life. So that's kind of step one. Step two, though, is keeping, as we've discussed, our key points to like our goal, like our end goals and everything with what we do, and the focus points there more than anything else. Modularity is probably the biggest point to it, and so in commercial, when we're talking to people, we have mobile therapy, we've got mobile dentistry, we've got mobile dog grooming, mobile command for police officers, which I don't think we're supposed to call them command vehicles, but we do. And so you have drone units. You have, oh my gosh, the list goes on. You've got hostage negotiation. You have mobile mental awareness. You have mobile mental therapy. You've got SWAT. You've got mobile electronics. You got mobile electronic repair. Mobile salon. I'm really trying to think of all the applications we're actually currently working on.
The catering vans.
Catering.
You say dog grooming?
I said dog grooming, yeah. Dog grooming, not cat grooming yet. We'll see how that goes.
Cats don't like that very much.
Maybe we can get into some chinchillas. I would 100%, if there's someone out there who needs mobile grooming for chinchillas.
Or for ferrets. You have
Absolutely.
a love for ferrets.
I want a ferret. My wife will not let me have a ferret. I want a ferret so bad. And if I knew that it would not hurt quality of our builds, we would have ferrets as our shop pet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
100%.
Pure chaos. But I think that fits you. That makes a lot of sense. That you would want one.
Okay, I will own that. I will absolutely take it.
In the kindest way possible.
I will absolutely take it. Once we stop this video, we're going to find out why you think a ferret fits me. It's not.
And then you guys may or may not see me again.
Do you think a ferret is my spirit animal?
No, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'd really have to think about that one.
Uh-huh.
But I think, I don't know. I just wasn't surprised by it when you sent that video of you in the pet store and you're like, I want one of these so freaking bad. I was like, yeah, that tracks. But I sent it at the wrong time, right after Nick said they were disgusting or something. And I was like, well,
yeah,
I'll leave now.
full disclosure, I think ferrets are disgusting.
Like, they're probably very dirty.
I want one so bad, knowing that. So it kind of tells you,
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
I do. And also my sister-in-law wants one, so I think we're going to go in together.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Great. Okay,
Kaylee-
so anyway, one day
Sorry, my
when somebody
bad.
has a business to groom ferrets
Yes.
and you need a van, let us know, and Jared will get you hooked up ASAP.
Oh, yeah, like I'm
As long
sorry.
as he gets one.
No one else is going to get my time other than that ferret van.
Oh boy, and we're gonna
chinchillas.
get a random DM about that now.
I
Anyway,
want one, so I'm out there. It's my next. It's the next application for ideas. It's our
boy.
next ambassador, Ferret Grooming. Just saying.
boy.
So, but the tangent we just went on. Okay, me. So the tangent we just went on does really actually full circle, does explain and shows the versatility and the modularity and the whole point of commercial.
Yeah.
Because it is one foundation that does all. It's kind of like a housing development. Typically, it's amazing when you go into housing developments. Anymore, like if it's a housing development of, say, homes that are in, for the Midwest, say a $500,000 price point. They'll say on the entry, it'll say 400 to 700,000 or whatever. What's interesting though is almost always what's underground is the same. Almost every one of those houses in that housing development, more than likely, is probably going to have, if not the exact same foundation, basement is what I mean. There might be two options. So you start with two foundational pieces, maybe a third, but you only have one or two. But when you drive through that neighborhood and you look at what you can see above, oh, it's endless. The books come wide open, the paint colors, everything is crazy. But the foundation in that housing development, between all those homes, you see them different. But really, from the builder, from the people building, from the quality, they're really all the same. And that's helps sum up really everything we do, but most importantly, commercial. Because on the camper van side, we have the modularity to where you can move your sink here and here. We can change now with the Move model. We can change wall panel colors. Like we can make them aesthetically different, and we can move things around. But van to van, there's still the same foundation that you can see. Commercial, same foundation, completely different application. And like I say, that does go true for the camper van side, but commercial is just it's crazy. It's one van, two vans can be in the production line. Well, right now we have a pet grooming van in the production line right next to a mobile command vehicle next to each other. And at the stage they're in, they look identical. And they're both to the point of, I don't know, probably 70% built. I mean, that's what we're sitting in.
Yeah.
We're sitting in that same van. This van looks just like those vans that I'm referring to. We're doing a podcast. So maybe we can go mobile. Maybe when the weather gets nicer, we'll go down by the river.
We'll be driving. Well, just kidding.
No, Haley. Except you do have a seatbelt.
Yeah, that's true.
Here.
But the seat, I don't
We
know.
will put them down. Just
The
easy.
seat is a
Yeah.
little...
Don't lean back. They're just sitting there.
a little too mobile.
People watching are not supposed to know that, but it's okay.
They're attached.
No, they're not. But it is the massive opportunity of taking care of people within the same foundation. So like the guys on the production line, they don't have to know how, mobile therapy works.
Yeah.
We just know this is where the seats need to be positioned from our buyers. But the power system, all that, same.
Yeah.
And so that's what is really cool and exciting for the Ferret van.
To be.
Yeah, it sounds far-fetched. Like, it sounds like, okay, like, seriously, like, could we really actually put ferrets in here?
Yeah, but they could.
Do you have ferret cages? Because if you do, yes, they can.
Yeah.
And I want one. And so, but that's true. We have, like, dog trainers. We have people who take dogs for training. We have people who take them to competition. Same van. And so...
we have people who make jewelry.
Yep.
same kind of thing, you know, make it and sell it. Like I think that's the beauty of it, and something we kind of didn't fully touch on in the previous episode talking about modularity for the camper van side of things is like, it's, yes, everything can move around and like that in itself makes the van like a really useful tool, but everything that goes in it can also be used for different purposes. And I think that's really what, like, for the commercial division makes things so versatile, how those two vans can look exactly the same at a stage when, you know, they're going to have a lot of similar components in them, but they're going to be used completely differently, you know? So that's like another part of it when, like, you know, you're very hands-on with the engineering team and the guys in production. So what is the like planning and prepping process when you're like sketching out a new design, or maybe you're redesigning something because it needs to be more versatile? Like, how does that go about? And that might be a better question for Nick or Gabe at some point to have them on here too. But
yeah, we should have probably just gotten a camera with Nick and I's conversation last night. It's it's a double-edged sword, because it's kind of like, look, eventually perfection it will kill, you know, perfection, being a perfectionist and those type things, you know. So let's take dog grooming unit for perspective. I think we could work on a dog grooming unit for the next 10 years.
yeah,
Because technology is going to get better. Things are going to get better. Water management, you know, power management, all those things are continually going to get better. But at some point, we have to say, hey, this is good enough. We can stand behind this product and we can move. So when you ask about like the vision, like making things better, things like that, it's so tricky, because we could spend all of our time always in R&D. But that's also why, like, we preach, like, we really love, like, our ambassadors and our second owners, because that gives us an opportunity to use them to try stuff for us. You know, launching the move right now is a lot of pressure on the team, but I commend every one of them for the hard work they're doing, because the goal of the move does so much. But it's just like the shower. Conversation last night with Nick was, are we truly ready to put the shower in people's units? Because we want to 100% confidently know that they're going to be successful. The customer will be. So do we have that level of confidence in that product? We know we will. We know the product. We know those things. We know that we'll take it out. We know we're willing to try it. We know all these things. But, you know, is that end user ready for that or not? And so that's a constant discussion, and it comes back to what you're saying. And a lot of it's vision. A lot of it's being able to say, okay, well, this is what we got to get to. Like, guys, like this is the golden egg here, you know? And for years it's been the shower. But it's kind of like, okay, but so if you want us to fully focus on that, Jared, I can. But I'm going to get it to this point, and as soon as I get it to this point, I'm going to realize another better way to do it. Now, law of diminishing returns. So, like, when we first started building, which is in a prior episode, when we first started making changes, we could knock an hour or two out of design. You know, then we got down to knocking minutes out. But it's the same way with the vision of a product. It's like, hey, this works really well, guys, but what if we did this? You know, and eventually you burden yourself, because, hey, now we're just trying to make decisions for the customer. So eventually it's got to get out there to them, you know, and that's really the conversation on the shower pan. It's like, you know, we see the functionality, we see all these things, but has it really been tested by the blind individual at this point who can, you know, tell us, hey, I have issues with this? It's like, oh, well, I didn't have issues with that. Nick didn't have issues with that. Or people who did test didn't. And so, but, you know, that's the confidence, is if we're confident in it, that's why we back it. You know, that's why we back everything we do. Because it's like, look, you know, it could go out in the field and be perfectly successful above the standard of all, or it won't. It's at some point we're not at high elevation, you know. And so the vision aspect and the R&D side with like our applications, like on the commercial side, it's just how good does good need to be, and that's always the question mark in making a better and better product. And so it's just, I think that the main thing that I'm going to give massive kudos to the entire team, our support team, production team, service team, everybody, is we always do make things better than it was prior. but are we willing to do that at the cost of not getting it in that customer's hands?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so where is that sweet spot? Where is it? So it's a double-edged sword, but a lot of it is vision, and then the focus of like this I can approve, Nick can approve, we can all approve it, so let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And not continually, thanks Austin, and not continually waiting for it's not that continual wait game of okay, but we can make this a little bit better, so let's wait for it. Mm-hmm. So it's a very, very, very tough, it's a very tough thing. Yeah. It's a very tough avenue. But again, on the commercial side, we listen to our customers. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're the ones building this. Like, you know, you need it. You need this seat in the rear of this unit.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and in the terms of like needs, you mentioned it a minute ago, you know, like how good can good really be? Like how good can we make it? And I think that's like important in terms of the commercial division to like touch on, because I think you've said before, there are a lot of applications where you're building something and like it can't fail. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like that's the level of like severity you're working with. Like there are a lot of applications where, you know, obviously there's always going to be, you know, things go wrong. That's just like how it is, you know, stuff happens, but you have to do everything in your power, like on the front end, to make sure that those failures don't happen, because there are like very important missions that are happening out there. And like, so I don't know, how does that feel for you? Is that like a lot of responsibility? I feel like this might turn into a little bit of a just like let it out and chill kind of thing, but it's a lot to carry.
It is, you know, but it's the confidence and just having done just so many builds and so many scenarios where it's why things that I see as like extremely important to get right do take a long time in R&D. Mm-hmm. Like our lithium system took us a very long time. It took 2 years to release it. Wow. And it took a lot of money. Took but a worth lot of time.
I mean, to know.
But it was worth it, you know? And so it's again, I'm kind of just rehashing a convo I just had with some of the team members. It's just we got to calculate the risk of that product and what it means. So, yeah, you're right. Like, there's a power system in a lot of scenarios cannot fail. So there's got to be redundancies. We got to build those in. You know, if there's something where it's like, look, this is important, but if this ever loosened up or something happened, you know, that's maybe a maintenance thing. It's like, hey, if we're that concerned and we got to redesign this whole thing because after 50,000 miles, these bolts might loosen. That's a maintenance schedule. You know, let's not reinvent the wheel again, because actually it's fine. There's just kind of another level that needs to happen. And so it's definitely a lot of weight. Mainly because, you know, I want people to be successful. I want people to genuinely love our product. I want people to come back for more. That's what I want for everyone. So customer satisfaction is probably what I would say I am more... That's probably a bigger weight than anything on me, is customer satisfaction. Commercial side, retail side, wherever the case might be. It's reading those support tickets. It's just those type things. And so, yeah, it's absolutely the confidence in the product, but I have extreme confidence in this team. So and I also know that we are a company. I know that we are structured. I know we have the ability of taking care of people when needed. And so my confidence does stay very high, and it's from the history of what we've done. I am just full-heartedly very confident, because I also know we tackle problems when they arise. They're, like you said, they're going to happen. We tackle them when they happen. And so, you know, and they're always going to come up. We could always do better. I absolutely will admit that, no matter what and to whom. But we're always going to tackle them. The question is priority, focus, and in the list of things, you know, what is that next focus piece for the team and myself. And so it's a lot of weight, but hey, I got a great team. So
that's good. That's good. And I think that's like really, really important too. You know, you've mentioned over and over, like if you could do nothing but hang out and talk to our owners, like that would be great. That's like a dream job for you, you know, to get to do that. So I think this is like really important for everybody to hear. I mean, I think every episode has shown a lot of your personal like heart behind the company and just like how if you haven't caught on that Jared's involved yet, like, you know, you might need to go back and rewatch because it truly is like you're running around on the production floor and you're like hands-on working with people. You're like hand picking materials like with the team. You know, it's not like a, oh yeah, whatever you think, you know. I mean, like you said, you have a lot of confidence in the team to be able to empower people to make those decisions, but you're so deeply involved, and that's just like super, super important and very different than a lot of other companies. So all in the vein of the commercial builds, I think that was like definitely probably more of just like your heart behind it. But I think it's really, really great to touch on. So that was really great.
Thank you. We're going places, Haley.
Yeah.
Going.
Exciting.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. 2024. Not going to know what hit you.
Yeah. Is there anything about that you want to foreshadow at the end here before
Nope. That's another topic.
Just going. We're just going.
We're going. We are going for it. We're
Great.
going for it all. So stay tuned. So
yeah. And we'll add some dramatic music in.
Yeah.
Here at the end.
Dun, dun.
Can you make that echo, Austin, and sound really...
Oh yeah, put some reverb on it.
Yeah. Reverb me.